What happens when someone becomes so obsessed with a TV show that they try to live it out in real life? This is the chilling true story of a filmmaker who wanted to become the character he admired most, a serial killer. But reality isn't fiction, and what he didn't count on was that his victims would fight back, and his own words would seal his fate. If you're into true crime stories that'll make your jaw drop, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You won't believe how this ends. Now, let's get into it. Vincent Hartley sat in his dimly lit apartment in Edmonton, eyes glued to his television screen for the fourth night in a row. The glow illuminated his face as he watched his favorite show, a series about a vigilante who hunted down criminals and killers. Vincent wasn't just a casual fan. He was utterly consumed. At 29 years old, Vincent considered himself a filmmaker, though most of his projects never saw the light of day. He had big dreams but little success. Somewhere along the way, those dreams twisted into something dark and dangerous. He started to wonder what it would feel like to have that kind of power, to be that character, to take a life. In the spring of 2008, Vincent began working on a 9-minute short film he called The Killing Room. The plot was simple but sinister. A killer lures an unsuspecting man to his workshop and murders him. Vincent poured himself into every detail, obsessing over the camera angles, the lighting, the fake blood. It felt real to him. Too real. But the film wasn't enough to satisfy the hunger growing inside him. So Vincent started a journal. He called it Predator's Log. Inside those pages, he wrote down every twisted thought, every dark fantasy, every step of what he planned to do. He convinced himself he was just like his TV hero. Except he missed one crucial detail. The character on TV only killed bad people, murderers, abusers, criminals who deserved it. Vincent didn't care about that. He was willing to kill anyone he could get alone, anyone who trusted him. The line between fiction and reality had disappeared completely, and Vincent Hartley was about to cross a line there was no coming back from. Vincent created a profile on the dating site Plenty of Fish, but he wasn't looking for love. He was hunting. Using stolen photos of an attractive woman, he named his fake profile Jessica and started messaging lonely men looking for connection. Within days, he found his first target, a guy we'll call Lucas. Lucas thought he was chatting with a beautiful woman who seemed genuinely interested in him. When Jessica invited him to meet at her place, a detached workshop on the edge of town, Lucas was excited, maybe a little nervous, but he said yes. On the night of the meeting, Vincent prepared his workshop like a movie set. He positioned his weapons, checked his old-style hockey mask, and waited in the shadows. The door was left slightly open, an invitation. When Lucas arrived and stepped inside, everything happened fast. Vincent lunged from behind, fists flying. Punch after punch connected before Lucas could react. Then came the stun gun, 50,000 volts shooting through Lucas's body, dropping him to his knees. Vincent pulled out a pistol, aimed it at Lucas's face, and ordered him to the ground. He slapped tape over Lucas's mouth and tried to cuff his wrists. But Lucas wasn't done fighting. Something inside him refused to give up. With his last bit of strength, he jumped to his feet and grabbed for the gun. They struggled, wrestling for control, and that's when Lucas felt it. The gun was light. Too light. It was plastic, fake, a prop. The fear drained from Lucas's body and was replaced with pure adrenaline. He threw a punch at Vincent, though his arm felt like rubber from the stun gun. It barely connected, but it was enough. Lucas broke free and ran for the door. Outside, his legs gave out. He collapsed onto the pavement, crawling desperately toward the street. A couple walking their dog appeared like angels in the darkness. "Help me," Lucas gasped. "He's trying to kill me." Vincent rushed out, still wearing that ridiculous hockey mask, panic in his eyes. "Oh, we're just messing around," he said, forcing a laugh. "Just shooting a scene for a film project, you know." The couple looked confused but seemed to believe him. They walked away. And in those precious seconds, Lucas found the strength to stand, stumble to his car, and drive away into the night. Vincent stood there, breathing hard, watching his first victim escape. He'd failed, but instead of fear or regret, he felt something else. Excitement. He went inside and wrote everything down in Predator's log, every detail, every mistake. Lucas never went to the police. Maybe he was too shaken. Maybe he was embarrassed. Maybe he feared Vincent would find him and finish what he started. Whatever the reason, his silence gave Vincent exactly what he needed. A second chance. Vincent's hunger hadn't been satisfied. It had only grown stronger. Days after Lucas escaped, he was back on Plenty of Fish, back to pretending to be Jessica, back to hunting. This time he matched with a man named Ryan. Ryan was kind, hopeful, looking for something real. They chatted for a few days, and when Jessica suggested meeting at her place, that same workshop, Ryan agreed. But Ryan was smarter than Vincent gave him credit for. Something felt off about meeting in a detached garage, so before he left, Ryan sent an email to his best friend Derek. "Meeting someone from online," he wrote. "Here's the address just in case." That email would change everything. Ryan arrived at the workshop that evening. The door was open just like before. He stepped inside, looking around for the woman he'd been talking to. He never saw Vincent coming. A metal pipe crashed into the side of his head and Ryan dropped like a stone. While he lay unconscious, Vincent did the unthinkable. He stabbed him, and Ryan didn't survive. Now Vincent had a body to deal with, and reality hit hard. This wasn't a movie. He tried to burn the remains. It didn't work. So he dismembered Ryan's body and dumped the pieces in a storm sewer, his hands shaking the entire time. But Vincent wasn't done. He took Ryan's keys and drove to his apartment. Inside, he sat at Ryan's computer and started crafting lies. He sent emails to Ryan's friends. "Met an amazing woman. We're going to Mexico together for a while. Don't try to contact me." He changed Ryan's Facebook status to "in a relationship." He even sent a resignation email to Ryan's workplace. Vincent thought he'd covered every angle. He thought he was brilliant, just like the character from his favorite show. But Ryan's friends knew better. The emails didn't sound like him. Ryan would never just disappear to Mexico with someone he barely knew. And when they broke into his apartment to check on him, they found something Vincent had overlooked: Ryan's passport. You can't go to Mexico without a passport. They kept calling, he never answered. They went to the police. At first, the cops were skeptical. "Maybe your friend really did go on vacation," they said. But then Derek remembered the email, the address Ryan had sent him before his date. He rushed to the station with the information, and suddenly everything changed. Police showed up at the workshop. There was Vincent, and parked outside was Ryan's car. "Oh, that," Vincent stammered. "I bought that from some random guy." His stories kept changing, contradicting themselves, falling apart. Officers searched Vincent's car and found his laptop. And on that laptop, they found Predator's log, every sick fantasy, every detail of his crimes, every step of what he'd done to Ryan, all written in Vincent's own words. Here's the twist that Vincent never saw coming. The very thing he thought made him smart, the thing he thought made him like his TV hero, his obsessive need to document everything, became the evidence that destroyed him. He'd written his own confession. The handcuffs clicked around Vincent's wrists. The camera flashes lit up his face for the mugshot. Vincent Hartley wanted to be a killer so badly that he kept a journal of his crimes, and that journal put him away for life. Ryan's friends never gave up. Their love for him, their refusal to believe the lies, brought a murderer to justice. Vincent is now in prison, where he'll spend the rest of his days, not living out some dark fantasy, but facing the very real consequences of confusing fiction with reality. Sometimes the villain doesn't get away. Sometimes justice wins. And sometimes a killer's biggest mistake is thinking he's the smartest person in the room. If this story left you speechless, drop a comment below. And remember, if something feels wrong, trust your gut. Ryan's instinct to send that email saved the case. Stay safe out there, and I'll see you in the next one.